Autobots, transform!
What's up, everybody? Welcome to George Reviews. I am the 80s Transformer fan, and today I'll be reviewing Marvel Legends Spider-Man from the Kingpin Build-A-Figure wave. This is the 6th Arm Spider-Man, one that most people didn't want. He doesn't come with a Build-A-Figure, and everyone was so angry because he doesn't come with an ab crunch. Now, this guy is not everything I wanted, but I really wanted this version of Spider-Man so bad. I'm happy to have it. So we'll take a look at his packaging. Mine has a little few dings in it. I'm going to open it so it doesn't matter. You can see him in the window box packaging. It says Marvel Spider-Man, and he actually is Spider-Man with Hasbro right here. At the top it says, if you can see it, oh, Kingpin, Marvel's Kingpin, Build-A-Figure. Side of the box, Spider-Man with a few arms hanging out. Back of the box shows you everybody you can get in the wave. Some looks like a prototype of this figure. Alright, while I'm on the back of the box, he has a little bit of a bio. You can pause and read, or I'll just run through it. Hoping to cure his spider powers, Peter Parker drinks a special mixture and wakes up with 4 extra arms. I mean, it doesn't get any more brief than that. We see the 4 extra arms. You know, they just told us he drank something and got them. I mean, they could have went a little bit more in depth, but anyway, that's what we got, and that's what it is, and here we go. So I'm simply going to slice the tape on the side of the box and get Spider-Man open. I love to unbox. If you've never seen any of my reviews and you're planning on watching these, you're going to have to put up with this. Then the clamshell he's in is the front of the window box. There's no like plastic still here at the opening. He's clammed in here and he has no ties on him. Maybe they need to start tying these guys down to keep people from stealing it, but then again, they can just tie them back up and bring them back if they purchase them. Here's Spider-Man out of his clamshell. He's a very stiff figure. I really wanted this figure, like I said in the opening. I wanted them to make him. This isn't, a lot of people really hate it, but this isn't the version I wanted to see, even though I wanted this figure. I think the extra arms are freaking cool. I don't like how they molded in like the fabric of his costume. I mean, it's cool on some people, but I don't like it. I can give the legs a pass, but when you come to the red part where the black lines are supposed to be and it's just molded in instead of the black lines, I'm really not feeling that. And same thing on the head and the mask. Speaking of head and mask, let's take a look at that head. My paint's pretty good on this figure so far as where I can see it. Turn them around. I don't see any splotches, any mess. The boots are all red plastic. The legs and thighs are all blue plastic, and I believe the chest is red plastic with the blue painted on the sides. So that's really cool. I hate it when they paint over things they don't need to paint over, and they can just use a different color plastic. The hands are done in red plastic, which is cool. I wish he had interchangeable hands for, I know he comes with a lot with the extra arms, but I wish he had interchangeable hands, because a lot of times he was confused when he would try to shoot a web with one hand and the other hand would respond. So I wish you could kind of get that done. So anyway, just take a look at the guy, and we're going to go over his multiple arm articulation. Start with his head. You can take his head and he won't look up very much at all. I mean, that's it. I mean, he can look down just the hair, and that's pretty much, it's not there. Not a lot there. No side to side at all. But you can get him 360 in case you ever want to pull an exorcist. And his arms have a hinge at his shoulder. A lot of them coming in and out this far. It can rotate 360 despite the other arms being there. He has a bicep swivel at 360s. A double jointed elbow. Get his arm back this far. And then coming to his wrist is hinged and it rotates on a 360. And he can get some spider webs going on. Coming to his secondary arms, I believe they function the exact same way. It will 360, or maybe it won't. Yeah, it will 360, but you got to kind of force it because it's kind of tricky under there. It's not a lot of room. It's kind of a tight joint. So I'm going to leave that the way it is. The exact same articulation as the other arms all the way down to the hand. Has a hinge in there, but he's making a fist. Yeah, it would have been cool to get a couple different hands, maybe a grabbing hand so he can hold somebody right here like Goro or something like that, and then 1 or 2 different Spider-Man web slinging hands. But I guess I don't think they have any more Spider-Mans. I don't have any Spider-Mans in my collection where he has an ungloved web slinging hand that would work in this scenario. So yeah, it's a shame that we didn't get a spider slinging thing. And everybody's biggest gripe is no ab crunch. And given the fact that he has these arms with all the same points of articulation, I can get at a pass. And someone said for safety reasons they couldn't give it a crunch or something with the arms or something. I don't know. I really don't know. I think you would have lost this particular articulation if they gave it a crunch or something. I don't know. But I'm not an expert on that, so I don't know. Then he has no waist swivel. Now that is a bummer for me. I could have gave the ab crunch pass, but no waist swivel. That kind of bums me out. Coming to his legs, he has this much range of motion in there from side to side, front to back. Spidey getting it down like this. The back of his leg is hitting his butt right here, so it won't go back any further. Has an upper thigh cut on both his thighs. You can get his leg up this far in the front, and mine has a little bit of a gummy joint in there that's not really wanting to pull off this articulation. I know it's new and it's stiff, but okay, now I got it. You can get his leg back this far. He has the boot cut. It's hidden pretty well. This one's a little loose on mine. And coming to his ankle, he has the rocker. You get it done that much, and side to side. So other than the ab crunch and the waist swivel, the waist swivel was really bugging me. I could have lived without the ab crunch with all the dang on arms. But to get him swinging and doing his spider thing, yeah, that really kind of sucks. So he's only shooting webs with the two top hands, and I guess he's punching bad guys with these hands. So yeah, I threw him on my little stand real quick. See how he looks. See it. I can pose him out a little bit and see if you can get him doing some things just and not really worry about that ab crunch. I guess you can get him where he looks like he's swinging without his ab actually crunching. So yeah. All right, real quick before I move on to some comparisons, I want to show you that when you line up the sculpt on the legs and the thighs and the boots, when you line it up, like this leg is facing inward, this leg is twisted a little bit that way, his body isn't, and the hips just, he's not lined up very well. You can see it. I mean, it might not be a lot to some people, but it's bothering me just a little bit. So anyway, I want to show you a comparison. This is Game vs. Spider-Man. I want to show you what I meant when I talked about the lines in the costume, how his are just painted on black, and they chose to mold his in and not paint it. And I don't know, I just don't like it. I don't like when there's been a lot of different Spider-Mans over the years where they've chosen to do this. I guess it goes different ways, so you don't feel like you're getting the same Spider-Man with maybe like an arm difference, but I don't like it. This is how he compares to that Game vs. Spider-Man, which was a pretty huge Spider-Man, by the way, and you can see it right here. His head is a lot bigger. His body sculpt is a lot bigger of the two. And here he is with a larger figure, Build-A-Figure Monster Venom. And here he is with Wolverine because it's Wolverine, and why not? So my final thoughts on Sis Arm Spider-Man. I like it. He's not the greatest figure, but I really like it. I wish I could have got it on clearance because everybody's hating on it. And he's the shelf warmer, mostly because he doesn't come with a Build-A-Figure piece. And then, like I said, a lot of fans were down on it. But it's real cool with all the arms. I really like it. The paint's done well. It's like the scope could have been lined up a little bit better for my taste. And then not having a waist swivel. I mean, I can give it a pass on the ab crunch or one or the other, but not having both, I really do not like that. But again, I'm happy to have this figure. I hope we get the future Total Monster Spider version, not that one that's in the other wave, that's like an alternate reality Spider-Man, but a full giant sized monster. I think we got one from Toy Biz in Spider-Man line about 15 years ago. So I would love to get that. But I do like this figure, and I would recommend, especially if he's on clearance. If you come across to the city, he's been out for a while now. I say he's the shelf hanger from this wave. I want to thank you for joining me for George Reviews. I'm an 80s Transformer fan. You just watched a review where every toy has a story.